Thanks for joining us on Key West Ford TV. My name's Ryan. We're going to do an in-depth walk around and review on the 2015 F-150 Platinum trim level. Now, most of you already know from looking at some of our other review videos, there are several trim packages available in the F-150. There's the XL, the XLT, the Lariat, the King Ranch, and the Platinum. In the Platinum trim level, there are only two motors available, and they are the classic motors that you're already familiar with from previous years of the F-150, which is the 5.0 liter V8 and the 3.5 liter twin turbo EcoBoost motor. This vehicle behind me is equipped with the 3.5 liter EcoBoost, putting out 365 horsepower and some great fuel economy. Come take a look at the engine to start with. We've got a nice clean power plant. This is your air intake up high here. You'll remember from the 2013 and 14 F-150s with the EcoBoost, they had removed the license plate from the middle of the grille at the bottom to create wind flow at the bottom. And now in 2015, we've got that license plate back in the middle because we've moved the majority of the airflow to above your grille. Again, that V6 3.5 liter power plant, your air intake, battery, and the rest of the components. Again, a nice clean looking engine, 365 horsepower. We'll go over some of the other features and functionality of this vehicle in a few minutes. New for 2015, of course, is some of these new lines on the vehicle. You've got these great looking headlights in the Platinum trim level. You've got LED headlights up front. You've got a specific grille for the F-150 Platinum. You've got a video camera up front. We'll let you see what that looks like on the interior in a few minutes. You've got integrated fog lamps at the bottom there. You've got a very specific 20-inch alloy wheel for the F-150 Platinum. Now I want to take a second and just chat a little bit about the different trim levels of the top three, the Lariat, King Ranch, and Platinum. There's not a lot of differences between those three trim levels. Each one of those trim levels has its own wheels, some of its own stitching and badging and aesthetics on the interior. But again, a lot of the luxury options, things like the 360-degree camera, some of those things are the same in all three trim levels. One thing that is different for the Platinum is that you only get those two engine options. In the King Ranch and the Lariat, you can also have a 2.7 liter V6 EcoBoost motor. In the XLT and XL, you can get the V6 3.5 liter but without the EcoBoost. No turbo, no direct injection, just a naturally aspirated engine. So that's one thing you got to keep in mind when looking at the Platinum, is you only have those two engine options available to you. You've got the F-150 Platinum badging on the side of the truck, EcoBoost badge down on the door frame. This down here is a sensor, a side sensor, that controls the active park assist, which allows you to parallel park this vehicle hands-free. You've got an LED sidebar on your side mirror. This can be projected at extra power for a side LED lamp that can be used in the dark. You've also got a light underneath for being able to shine on the ground or in the ditch. And there's also a camera under here that, again, we'll showcase in a few minutes. This is, of course, a power mirror, full power group setup, and you do have a blind spot indicator system. Right in the top left-hand corner of this mirror, on the passenger side, the top right-hand corner, there's a little yellow dot that'll show up when someone's in your blind spot. Specific to the Platinum is those power deployable running boards that run the full length of the cabin. This is a crew cab truck, so that power deployable running board does run the full length. Taking a look at the back seat quick, you do have that full crew cab back seat set up with a 60-40 split on the rear seat to give you extra cargo capacity. This vehicle also comes equipped with the inflatable rear seat belts. There's a CO2 cartridge in the seat belt. If the vehicle's ever in an accident, this seat belt will inflate to cover more diameter across the body of the passenger as an extra safety restraint. In the back there, you also have a 3-prong 110 volt charger, a single 12 volt charger, and heated seats for the rear passengers as well. Looking up, you have a twin panel moonroof, and because it spans the entire length of the cabin up top, it does give the rear passenger something to look at out the top as well, which is really quite nice. You've got Ford's classic easy fuel capless fuel filler there. Same 20-inch alloys out the back, 4x4 badging. And in the 2015 F-150, in the Lariat, King Ranch, and Platinum, you can also get the cross collision alert system. There's essentially a radar panel in the side rear quarter panel of the vehicle that will sense upcoming traffic from the side. Most of you in today's day and age will have at least rear sensors on the back of your vehicle, if not a rear camera as well. We do have the rear sensors and the rear camera, but that's only going to pick up things coming from behind. And a large majority of the accidents in today's day and age happen in parking lots while you're backing out of a parking space. So again, this will read traffic coming from the side and will produce an audible noise inside the cabin to warn you if you do have a vehicle coming onto you from the side. You do have this nice keyless key fob for the F-150 Platinum with remote start, door unlock and lock, a panic alarm, and you also have a power deployable tailgate. Now this can be a little bit deceiving as it's not technically a power tailgate, but what it does do is it allows you to release the tailgate from a distance, and it has that nice slow release functionality. But again, deceiving in the name of it because it's not a power tailgate, because you can't put it up with the key fob. You have to manually lift the tailgate to get it to go up. You also now have an integrated tailgate step right into the top of the tailgate. Before, it was on the actual bed of the truck, which would limit the amount of workspace that you would have. You push that button, pull that out and let it drop, and then grab a hold of this yellow piece, pull out, and push up. This is designed to ease your access into the bed of the tailgate, but more importantly is being able to get down. Most of the injuries that happen getting out of the bed of a truck happen getting out. So this is a great way to be able to get out of the bed of the truck safely. And as easy as it was to put up, it's just as easy to put down. And that's it. In the bed of the truck, we can put either a plastic drop-in bed liner or a hard spray-in bed liner. Your choice. Our detail department can do both. It's up to you what you want to put in, or leave it bare as this truck is. You've also got these great LED lamps in the bed of the truck. There's one on this side, there's one on the other side. And when you unlock the doors in the dark, those LEDs will come on. But there's also a button. You come around the back of here and I'll show you. There's also a button right here that you can press to illuminate those LEDs if you need to during the daytime, or again if you don't have the key fob in your hand. This here's Ford's new box link system. You notice there's a little key access, so these lock on to the side of the bed of the truck. So nobody's going to be able to steal this because you need to have these keys to be able to take these on and off. Now there's a lot of aftermarket products becoming readily available where you can change the functionality of that box link system, but that's a nice new feature that Ford set up for the 2015 F-150 and comes as a standard option in the Platinum. You get the Platinum badging out the back, you know it's a Platinum truck when you see that big Platinum badge right across the rear end. It's a great addition to the vehicle. Also a key feature in the 2015 F-150 is they've moved your trailer plug-ins above the rear bumper. They used to be down here, but now being above, you're going to have less of a chance of getting dirt and muck and gunk and mud stuck in there. So it's right beside your license plate. And you've also got LED lights off the back here illuminating your license plate, but more importantly illuminating this plug so you can see what you're doing in the dark. In the 2015 F-150 Platinum with the 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6 motor, and the max trailer tow package setup, you can pull up to 12,500 pounds. That's a significant increase over the 2014 model. Here's what's fascinating, is that if you opt to go into a Lariat, King Ranch, or XLT trim level with a 2.7 liter EcoBoost V6 motor, that motor will actually allow you to tow up to 8,500 pounds. Now that replaces, on towing capacity, a lot of the older 5.4 liter motors that a lot of you are still driving out there. Now it's a great motor, I'm not taking anything away from it, but if you're hauling something that's 8,500 pounds or less, I'd encourage you to look at that 2.7 liter EcoBoost option. However, I do understand that a lot of you out there are already familiar with the 5.0 liter and that 3.5 liter EcoBoost motors, because they are proven, they are fuel efficient, they are powerful, and they are very, very smooth, and we've had almost no problems whatsoever on either motor. So really you get to take your pick. You're also probably aware by now that this vehicle is built with a new aluminum body. You have a high forged, high strength steel frame, but an aluminum body. Now that's going to decrease the vehicle's weight by 700 pounds when you have a crew cab setup with the 5.5 foot box. That 700 pound weight reduction is partly where you get the increased towing capacity. You also get increased throttle response and of course increased fuel mileage because of the weight reduction. We're also assuming that over a period of time you're going to have less mechanical problems because the truck just doesn't weigh as much and doesn't have to work quite as hard as it used to. In the Super Duty lineup of trucks, they are still made with boron steel, but look in the future for the Super Duty trucks to also be built with the all aluminum body, just like these new 2015 F-150s. On the interior of the 2015 F-150 Platinum, you get a large amount of upgraded luxury features that were not available in the 2014. There are some features that you'll see familiar from the 2014, but I do want to show you all the features and you can tell for yourself which ones are new for the 2015. In the Platinum trim level, you have a leather wrapped door panel and a nice chrome and wood inlay right behind your door handle. The door handle itself is actually a chrome wrap as well. You have a power memory driver's seat with 3 memory settings. You can have 3 different settings, one for a primary driver, a second driver, and a third driver programmed for the seat. You've also got a full power group here for your power windows and power mirrors. And what I love is actually the little bit of a slant to this door frame. Again, just increasing the amount of comfort available to you. And these buttons up top, if you get a look at those, allow the mirrors to pull in and out. Sorry, actually this button at the bottom pulls the mirrors in and out. Literally, as you can see right there, it'll pull those mirrors back and draw them back out. This cursor panel here adjusts the actual mirror. These 2 buttons here are your spotlights. So again, the LED spotlight on the side of the mirror is activated with these 2 buttons here. You also have LED lighting available by button from the interior cabin into the box. Fog lamps with this button. You have an automatic dusk sensing headlight. And these 2 buttons on the side increase or decrease the lighting of your instrument clusters up front. This button right here will bring those pedals away from you or closer to you. And these buttons up here on your, just behind your steering wheel on the steering column, is your power telescopic and tilt for your steering wheel. So the entire steering column is power with this little cursor behind the steering wheel. You can get a look here at how beautiful those Platinum seats are. Again, the Lariat, the King Ranch, and the Platinum all have specific aesthetics And the Platinum is probably my favorite when you look at the comfort. This full grain leather, a couple different shades of dark gray and light gray. The Platinum badging up top here. Down the side here, you'll obviously see your full power seat, which is available on the passenger side as well. You have a lumbar support with the side cursors. This one changes your elevation of the back of the seat. And this one here moves the seat forward and back and raises and lowers the entire seat as well. A couple other little features is the F-150 badge here. And throughout the entire interior of the vehicle, you have a leather trim and kind of this brushed metal look throughout the entire interior of the vehicle. Even on the steering wheel itself, you have a full leather wrapped steering wheel with that brushed metal look. The interior of the vehicle is luxurious. It's hard not to recognize that. As you get a full look at the interior of the F-150, you realize just how many windows and how big these windows are, including that twin panel moonroof. We've got a shade cover for that power moonroof that covers the entire twin panels. We can also move that back. You've also got a power sliding rear window with a defrost. And of course a power sliding first panel, again giving you an absolutely huge amount of visibility within the interior cabin. You've got a wonderful dash here which includes a bit of wood grain. You've got a rubber mat here so that things don't slide around too much. You got a nice big glove box with an extra shelf up top. You have a 12-volt charger and a 110-volt 3-prong charger up front as well as in the back seat. You've got some storage space up top here. Down below here, you have a wood grain sliding cover to this extra storage space down in the bottom. You've also got a charging port down here, an auxiliary line in, your SD card for your navigation system, and 2 USB ports. On the middle portion of the vehicle, you've got a nice pen holder, dual cup holders, and a 6-speed automatic transmission with a manual Tiptronic option, a leather-wrapped gear shift, and even a leather boot. These 2 buttons behind your gear shift are very important. The first one on my left is your lane keeping aid system. This, by pressing this button, will utilize the cameras underneath of the side mirrors. And if you start changing lanes without signaling, or the vehicle feels like or assumes that you're potentially falling asleep at the wheel, it'll flash a warning on the steering wheel and even make the steering wheel vibrate to help you wake up and make sure that you stay within the lines. The button on the right is your self-park assist. By pressing that button, it'll allow the system to use the sensors around the entire vehicle to look for an open parking spot and then parallel park the vehicle hands-free. Check out our other video that we did showcasing the self-park assist in the F-150. You've also got a couple of cup holders back here for your rear passenger, and an absolutely gigantic center console. You got an extra charging port down there. You've got this little tray that fits in here. And this is actually a full file folder width. And then you notice right on the top here, it's got a locking mechanism so that you can actually lock the center console. Of course, you can actually lock the glove box as well. On your center stack, you got quite a bit of options. You got some functionality here that's important, including one of my favorite options is these air-conditioned seats and heated seats for the front passengers. You've got a dual zone climate control, and you have full entertainment system with CD player. And of course your 8-inch My Ford Touch LED display. And what I like to point out right away that I've got on the screen is massaging seats for the driver and the passenger. That feature is so fantastic for long drives. If you plan to drive this vehicle for a couple hours at a time, turn on those massage seats and you will diminish the amount of fatigue that you feel at the end of a long drive. Absolutely fantastic. It'll massage your buttocks as well as your lower back. You can adjust the amount of pressure that it gives you, as well as you can also adjust the lumbar support right from the screen. You've also got your climate control here, again with heated seats and air-conditioned seats, and a heated steering wheel. Dual zone climate control, automatic. You have a full entertainment package with AM, FM, Sirius satellite radio, CD player, those 2 USB ports. Microsoft Sync technology gives you your Bluetooth wireless access and your auxiliary input as well. You can program up to 8 phones in your Bluetooth database. And we don't have an SD card in here at the moment, but this vehicle does come equipped on this screen with a full functional navigation system. With the navigation system and the Bluetooth working together, you have up to 10,000 combinable voice commands. If you own one of these vehicles with the My Ford Touch and Microsoft Sync package and navigation, make sure you go to www.syncmyride.com. That's SYNC myride.com for more information. Above your My Ford Touch screen, you've got a traction control on and off button, hazards button, and a 360-degree camera. So that was obviously your front view. You've also got a side view here out the side of the side mirrors, sorry, the bottom of the side mirrors for the left and the right. And if I press this button again, that'll give me my full screen rear view look. And if I press it again, that gives me my full screen front look. Press it one more time and it brings us back to our My Ford Touch screen. Now the steering wheel accesses a large entertainment display up front, or information display rather. You have a full 8-inch information display directly in front of the driver. The right-hand cursor controls your entertainment, as well as these buttons down here. You have cruise control on the left-hand side, and this left-hand cursor controls the 8-inch information display up front. So you've got multiple different views, including a trip view, trip 1 and 2. You can look at your fuel economy, fuel history. There's a compass. You can access a digital speedometer. You have different truck information, including a gauge selector. You can look at your turbo boost, tire pressure, PSI readings. Again, your digital speedometer. Oil life and engine hour readout. And my key status. You also have towing options. You can look at your towing status, including your gain, your braking power, and even the degree of tilt on the vehicle itself. Trailer disconnect option there. Trailer setup. and connection checklist so that you can have a digital checklist before you start your drive to make sure that your trailer is connected and you have the proper information available to you for a nice, safe drive with your trailer. Off-road status gives you, again, a readout of the degrees of tilt on the vehicle side to side and front and back, as well as the torque being delivered to each of the wheels through the power distribution display. You also have different settings. This truck is equipped with automatic high beams. What that means is you can have your high beams set to on, and if the vehicle senses another oncoming vehicle in front of you, the high beams will automatically turn off, and when the vehicle passes, the high beams will turn on again. Blind spot indicator system, which again is the yellow dot in the top left-hand corner or right-hand corner of your side mirrors. Cross traffic alert is the radar panel and the rear quarter panels of the vehicle. Driver alert, again, is your lane keeping system, and rear park aid is your audible sound that is made when you're getting close to something behind you. You have other advanced settings, including lighting and locks, your alarm system. You can turn the power deployable running boards on and off. Your remote start system, you can have different climate control settings for when you start up your vehicle, the amount of time that the vehicle runs for before it automatically shuts itself off, and you can turn the system off as well. You've also got a courtesy wipe. You have rain sensing wipers for your front windshield wipers. So tons and tons of different options available to you in this 8-inch information display directly in front of the vehicle. Now lastly, the four-wheel drive system. You have 2 high, 4 automatic, 4 high, and 4 low. A lot of people wonder, what does the 4 automatic mean? Well, that's similar to an intelligent all-wheel drive system in an SUV. That'll leave the vehicle in 4-wheel drive mode, but have 80% of the power in the rear wheels and 20% of the power in the front wheels under normal driving conditions. And then as necessary, it will adjust the torque and power delivered through the vehicles. And again, if necessary, will deliver 100% power to all 4 wheels at one time. And will again diminish as necessary the amount of torque and power based on the driving conditions. 4 high and 4 low is your basic 4-wheel drive that's been available for decades in 4-wheel drive trucks. By pulling out, you would essentially lock in your locking rear differential. Push it back in, and that disengages your locking rear differential. And down here you have a trailer disconnect with trailer brake controller down here as well. Well, thanks for joining me on this in-depth walk around and review on the 2015 F-150 Platinum. What's the price tag on this vehicle? Well, in Canada, the MSRP on a vehicle built like this is about $74,000. Right now at the end of April, with available rebates from Ford Canada, you can get into it for about $69,000. We'd love to handle any questions you might have on financing options, trade-in options, and delivery options available to you by purchasing a vehicle at Key West Ford, British Columbia's largest volume Ford dealer. Now, $74,000 MSRP for a pickup truck and F-150, you might be thinking is a lot of money, but I'd like to challenge that mindset, because when you take into account the amount of safety features, the power delivery, the fuel economy, the longevity and history that goes into building this F-150 pickup truck, and all of the luxury components available, I think you are getting more than your money's worth. My favorite options, by far, on the F-150 Platinum, those massaging seats inside, the twin panel moonroof, the power deployable running boards, the 360-degree camera, the parallel park assist, the LED spotlights. I mean, I could go on and on and on about my favorite options, but don't take my word for it. Come down for a test drive, see for yourself, and you can tell me what you love about the F-150 Platinum. My name's Ryan. Thanks for joining us on Key West Ford TV. Have a great weekend.